I was muted.
Aha.
There we are.
There's Con
Hello.
and there's me.
Yeah.
Hello.
It must be the first Sunday of the month, Con.
Oh, it is indeed, yeah. Another month, and another something to look forward to. Because last month was a bit boring, wasn't it? So, everything all right with you? Everybody happy?
Everything is lovely. Are we ready to start, everybody? Yes!
Yes.
Yes, we're ready to start. So let's get the show started.
Build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, at least I hope I will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, only know I'm gonna try. Gonna build it.
No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to mute everybody. Ha 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 ha.
It's the sound of silence.
Now shut up, Stephen, for goodness sake. Mute all! You say the 1, 2, 3, Stephen, go on.
1, 2, 3. That's it.
Silence. Look at that. And then there was silence.
Over to me. Well, what's on the show this week? And I should be asking Deck how his month was. It's been a long time, it seems, since we were on here before. And then we're going to have the old video diaries again, which is October 2016, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then we got a topic of the week we should be discussing. And then Deck did a lovely video of streets of London. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And then, do we have any birthdays, celebrations, anniversaries, anything at all? And we should be celebrating them. And then on a very windy day up on the Downs, we recorded He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. And then our most requested song, which is Bless This House. So that's all to come. And looking forward to it all. I hope you're going to enjoy it all. We've been working very hard. Deck's been working very hard, putting all the show together, and with the videos and everything else. So, how was your month, Deck? Did you have a good
Well, it
month?
was dreadful. No, I never actually say that. I never ever say that. But I must say this time, private stuff that I never share with anybody. Share it with Con, obviously. But yeah, family stuff, dreadful. But there you go. These dreadful things happen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and there's nothing you can do about it. So no use being sad, no use moping about, no use feeling sorry for yourself. You just got to get on with it and get out there. And my secret to everything like that is just to keep going. And I love my work. I love the videos I do, the music I do. I love working on websites, all that kind of stuff. And Layla, my granddaughter, yesterday said, "But Granddad, you should relax more. You should sit down and enjoy yourself." And I said, "But if I sat down, how would I enjoy myself?" It's an interesting situation, isn't it? The likes of me, if I sit down, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Mind you, having said that, if I sit in a nice garden, I go over to my daughter's garden this time of the year, every Tuesday afternoon and every Friday afternoon. And I love her garden, and it's looking rather beautiful at the moment. If we do one of these again, I'll show you the garden, show you what I'm doing. Lovely. But there we are. That's lovely. But I can sit looking at a garden, and I don't have to have a book. Don't have to have a radio on, the television on. I don't have to have anything on, music. No, I can just sit there. Very nice. I tell you what is nice. A nice gin and tonic. Nice gin, sitting there in the garden. Isn't that right, Con? What do you sit with, Con, in the garden?
Definitely, yeah. Well, I'm very fond of Spanish beers and things. So I usually sit in the garden with a beer, and it's lovely. The amount of birds we have up here, all making a racket. It's wonderful just to sit in the garden and enjoy nature.
Making a racket, making a racket.
I'll record them one day and play them for you.
I'll put them in the background to one of our songs, shall I? That'd be
Yeah.
nice. Oh, well, you did. You sent me something for Bless His House.
Yeah,
It was
sunset.
it was
Sunset.
no, it was a shot. That's beautiful. But I couldn't use it in the Bless His House. I'll use it in another thing, Con. He sent me a beautiful, beautiful. They get lovely sunsets from where Con is because he's so high up. A beautiful red sunset. It was really gorgeous, but it didn't fit in, so I didn't use it. But what sort of Spanish beer do you like, Con? Is it San Miguel? My favorite is San Miguel.
San Miguel. San Miguel. Yeah.
San Miguel, you like
They
it?
sell it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
answer
sell
me.
it down
Answer me
down
this
this.
question: do you like the bottle or the tin?
Well, they only sell the bottles in Asda, so or not Asda, Aldi's. Aldi's.
Do you,
We're very blessed here with supermarkets. We got Morrison's down the road,
yeah.
and also just turn the corner, and you've got Aldi's, and not too far away then is Tesco's, and we're drowned. We're drowned out in supermarkets.
Do you know,
So it's
Con, in our
very,
local Tesco's,
there we are. That's why.
oh, can I have one of them, please?
Oh
I'd
yeah.
die for one of them. I've got a dry house, unfortunately. But in our local Tesco's, Con, I've got to tell you this, they were selling cartons of 24 bottles of San Miguel for £8.
Wow.
And nobody was buying them.
I know.
They were stacked up like that, and nobody was buying. So I was going in and going in and going in and going in. It was lovely. But listen, let's get on, Con. We're yakking too much.
Right.
What have we got
Okay.
next?
We got the old the old video diaries from October 2016. 2016. It was a good year, and I'm looking forward to seeing this because there's lots of lovely memories. A lot of people who are no longer with us, unfortunately. But anyway, let's have a look at the deck and see what's all
And
about.
the sadness of Jimmy Perry's funeral. Jimmy wrote, Dad's Army, Are You Being Served? Heidi High, all those things. And what a lovely, lovely funeral. There's John Radcliffe on the left. Every time you pass by a truck and you see Radcliffe hoist on the end. On the back of it, that's him. And there's Bobby Roberts, the famous circus man, and his lovely wife Moira. And then I was asked to unveil a lovely mural on the side wall of the Royal Hippodrome Theatre in Eastbourne.
Listen, shall we ask them a question? Is there anybody here in the audience old enough to remember the Bachelors? Oh, 2, 3. Well, listen, before I say anything, let me ask you a question. How many people here tonight thought that I was dead? And now that you see me in the flesh, so to speak, hands up, all the people who just think I look dead. And how many people wish I was dead? Put your hand on this. Well, it's lovely to see you. I live up in Meads, for anybody who's interested. It's quite astonishing the number of people in show business, people in the music industry, people in the film industry, even Bob Hoskins, a little way out of town. Yeah, we live around Eastbourne because it's just so gorgeous. And we're so well serviced with lovely theatres like this. Isn't this a gorgeous theatre? It's absolutely gorgeous. And we've played here. In fact, Debbie, who's coming on in a few minutes, Debbie said that the first time she ever saw my brother and myself performing was here. Yeah, here. And I love the number of times Joe Brown, my dear friend Joe Brown, has been here. I come every time to see Joe Brown, and so should you. But listen, I always think that people want to ask me questions all the time, and somebody did ask me a question before I walked on, and he said, what's anything amazing happened to you recently? And something amazing did happen to me. I came home from Spain. I was over in Spain last week, and I came home. Now I want to ask you a question, seriously. How much booze can you bring home from Spain? How much? A liter. In the EU? As much as, yeah, as much as you like. As much as, that's right, Bob, much as you like. So I had 2 bottles of vodka and 4 bottles of Rioja.
Rioja.
Oh, you drink that as well, do you? 2 bottles of vodka and 4 bottles of Rioja. And the guy stopped me. And he had my case open, he had everything all over the place, it was unbelievable. And anybody in show business will tell you that Dec Clusky is the calmest person that you will ever meet. So I looked at him, and I lost it completely. And I said, hello? Do you realise who I am? I'm Dec Clusky from the Bachelors, famous singing group in the 60s, millions of hits, number 1s all over the place. And he looked at me and he said, well, hard luck. I'm one of the searchers. You may wonder what this is all about. I've just come actually from the funeral of the great Jimmy Perry, who wrote Dad's Army, Heidi High, Are You Being Served? Upstairs, downstairs, he wrote loads of stuff, and that's, I'm a past king rat of the Grand Order Water Rats, and that's why I'm wearing this. And I hear somebody in the wings saying, sing a song.
No, don't.
Excuse me, miss. What have you been doing here tonight?
Well, here, unveiling this.
She's been standing here looking absolutely gorgeous and beautiful.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Out the road.
I'm trying to see everybody.
Fantastic, isn't it? Fantastic. And that's a mural on the side of the Hippodrome Theatre in Eastbourne. Fantastic.
YouTube tomorrow.
Right, YouTube tomorrow.
YouTube tomorrow.
YouTube tomorrow. Who are you?
My name.
Is Michael Caine.
Hi, Dec speaking. We're now at the Hippodrome Theatre and we have unveiled a lovely mural.
Yeah, move it on,
as
move
my
it
daughter
on.
called it, mural.
And we are with the beautiful Miss Debbie McGee.
Lovely tonight. Yes. Had a fantastic night. Yes, we all love Claire's mural.
Oh, you're the mural maker, are you?
I am the mural lady.
The mural. Mural. I can't mural.
Why are the Bachelors not on there?
I'm sorry, I couldn't put it.
You couldn't get us all on.
We had to
They're too old, aren't they?
the friends voted.
They'd probably crack it. And who are we, these lovely ladies here?
We're neighbours.
Oh, you're the neighbours.
Oh,
Oh, they're the neighbours. Of the mural lady, of the mural lady.
Okay.
I've got
Okay.
That's the end.
And I'm filming it.
Very good.
Now, how many people did anybody recognize at that funeral of Jimmy Perry? That's what I want to know. Loads of people. I every time I look at that, I actually see different people. So loads of people, but it's lovely with the Grand Order Water Rats because Jimmy was a great water rat, gave a huge amount of money to the water rats for charity.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, and it's amazing the way when you die, when you're a water rat. I hope it's the same for my funeral and your funeral, Con. Loads of people from pitch up from show business to see you off. What are we doing next, Con? Oh, I tell you what, there's a thing, Con. Remind everybody that when you come to Eastbourne, go to the Hippodrome and look up at that mural, or muriel, as we call it. The mural, it's very nice, it's very good. But Con, over to you.
Lovely. Well, Now we've got the topic of the week. And do you have a topic of the week, Dick?
Yes. Here's an interesting one. I'm going to put it onto gallery view. Interesting question. I'm looking at Margaret Taylor. I'm looking at Margaret. Would you like to unmute yourself there, Margaret, for a second? What would you never eat and why?
Tripe.
Tripe.
Right. You know, everybody says that. Go on, why?
I just don't like the texture of it when you touch it, and I could never get that in my mouth.
Oh, I think it's lovely, especially with a nice white sauce on it.
I mean, I've cooked loads and loads of it because I taught chefs to cook. So I've cooked loads of it, but I just can't get it into my mouth myself. Oh, no.
Oh, that's
Oh, dear.
dreadful. Joy Henderson. What? Tell us about tripe now. Would you eat tripe? Would you?
No. Definitely not.
Why not? Why not?
No. No, it'd make us feel sick. Ugh.
Oh dear, oh dear. And Jenny Eldridge. I adore tripe. And I think you like tripe, Con, don't you?
I do, yeah, especially
Jenny.
with the nice white sauce on it. My dear.
There's nothing I wouldn't eat.
Good for you.
What's the best thing that you've ever eaten, though, Jenny? Go on. And where?
Oh,
Where?
funny
Where?
enough, a fillet steak at a restaurant called Maltravers in Arundel many years ago, and it was like cutting through butter. It was delicious. I've never had a steak like it since.
Was that? How are you with the different steaks? Because I adore fillet steak, but with
That's the only one I eat.
Yeah. Now, what? Tell me why? What's wrong with rump steak? What's wrong with belly steak? What's wrong with all the other sirloin steak? What's wrong with them, Jenny?
Well, some of them are supposed to have more flavour, but they're tougher, aren't they?
Yeah, I love sirloin steak. I had one the other day, as a matter of fact, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Lovely taste, very tasty.
I love cooking. I fancy myself as a cook. Since I did Come Down With Me, I made a show of myself cooking wise on Come Down With Me. Well, I didn't really. I just enjoyed it. I had fun. But since then, I've taken a great interest in proper cooking, and I do mean proper cooking, but it's cooking by numbers, because I get a recipe and I just do 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly what they say, exactly the weights and everything. But I found a gorgeous recipe, and you might just look it up on the net, and it's for any other steak except sirloin, I would say. Except fillet. And I got a sirloin steak, and it's cube it, cut it into cubes, and then it's a Jamaican jerk cubed steak. And I'm here to tell you, oh, it was divine. What would you do with the best steak? What would you do, Stephen? If you were let loose, Stephen, in a kitchen, and you were given some steak, what would you do with it?
I would put some seasoning on it, some really good seasoning, and then I'm afraid I'd have to add some chips.
Some chips?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So that would be your absolute ideal. Steak and chips. That's what all the boxers use, isn't it? All the gymnasts, that they love the steak and chips. Well, everybody, you were all wonderful. You were all lovely. And Carl, what are we getting up to now?
Yeah, well, I was going to say the best steak I ever had was a friend of mine, Derek Hardy, who used to be managing at Pontons. and he used to come up to my house every New Year's Eve, spend New Year's Eve with us, and he cooked a steak. It was absolutely gorgeous. He just put it in the frying pan.
What
for
sort of
about
steak,
2
Con?
minutes.
What sort of steak? What
It
sort?
was fillet steak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fillet steak, and he just seasoned it on either side on the pan, and left it to rest for a little while, and then put it in the oven, and for about 20 minutes, and it was absolutely gorgeous, absolutely lovely. But anybody eat snails at all? No. Well, I tell you what, my wife and I were over in Spain one time, staying at this hotel, and they were having a trip out in a charabanc type of thing, and we went out to this I suppose you call it a pub over here, and we're in there. We had a few drinks, and as I was leaving, the coach driver, he was sat there having a plate of stuff, and I said, "What's that? What's that?" He said, "Oh, it's escargot, very, very, very nice. Here, try one." And I took it and ate it, and it was absolutely beautiful. And that was snails, and ever since I actually love. You can't taste the snail at all. You can't taste it. It's the it's actually the flavouring. You know, but there you go. That's me.
It's the garlic, really. It's escargot. I used to love escargot. Now I won't touch it at all because, Con, if you remember, on our famous trip around Europe, I don't know what year it was. It was quite a long time ago now. But our last night was in Bruges on the way home to get the boat on the way home in your Rolls Royce. Ooh, big time. And we went on a boat. It was a barge that was moored, and beautiful restaurant in this barge, and it was empty. And of course, the advice is always never eat anything to do with shellfish in an empty restaurant. So I had escargot and spent the night sitting on the loo and sitting and doing it the other way as well, out of my mouth. And I can always remember because I had to have the window wide open because of everything that was coming out of me. And there was no clothes on because it was so hot. And I can always remember, Con, over opposite was a hospital. And all the nurses were looking out the window and this mad Irishman sitting on the loo and vomiting all over the place. But that was, I've had salmonella 6 times in my life. 6 times, yeah?
Wow.
Do you remember the pizza?
Once it's in your stomach.
Yeah, do you remember the pizza once? The pizza at the American base?
Pizza.
We all got it. Salmonella.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I was in bed all next day with a salmonella poisoning.
I think I was in bed. I think I was in bed for a week with that. But that was the first time, and I've had six bouts since. 6 bouts. But anyway, Con, what are we up to now?
Well, we're up to another video of you singing. And
me singing? Now there's a novelty, ladies. He's going to let me sing.
And it's that famous one. Actually, you're supposed to be announcing it, but I shall do it for you. And it's a lovely...
You've got to mention Lynn. If it's the one I think it's going to be, it's Lynn got me to do this.
Yeah. Where's Lynn? Does Lynn
she's there. Oh, she's
that?
there. Yeah, she's there. She doesn't know what it is, Con. You've got to announce it. Go on.
Yeah. Well, it's the streets of London.
Okay.
Right.
London.
Have you seen the old man in the closed down market, kicking up papers with his worn out shoes? In his eyes you see no pride, and loosely by his side yesterday's paper telling yesterday's news. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old gal who walks the streets of London? Dirt in her hair and her clothes in rags. She's no time for talking, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home in 2 big shopping bags. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. In the all-night cafe at 11:15, same old man sitting there on his own, looking at the world over the rim of his teacup. Each tea lasts an hour and he goes home alone. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old man outside the seaman's mission? Memory fading with the metal ribbon that he wears. In our winter city, the rain cries a little pity for one more forgotten hero and a world that doesn't care. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind.
Very good, very good. Yeah, your harmonica playing again, much better.
Let's see the applause. Let's see the applause. Let's see the applause. Look at that. Amazing, amazing. And Ronnie is not applauding. Ronnie is not applauding. She's not letting us see her because she's no makeup on today. And it's wonderful. And thank you very, very, very much. That's lovely. I'll tell you what, I was saying to Con yesterday when we were having the dress rehearsal, my Victoria, she does amaze me at times with her talent. But when I was recording that, I said to Victoria, do you fancy just putting a few vocals on? She said, yeah, sure. I said, Streets of London. She said, oh, I know this. I said, well, do you want me to write some stuff or do you want me to tell you what to sing? She said, oh, no, leave it. And I just switched on the recorder, the Pro Tools, and she just stood in front of the mic. I ran it through twice, or took each take, and that's what she produced. And it's one of the best back vocals I've ever heard in my life. There's Ronnie. There's Ronnie.
Hey.
Ronnie, what did you think of that?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, go on. We can hear you saying, "Can you hear me?" But that's about all that came up. Oh, let's give up on Ronnie. If you come live, just shout, Ronnie. You shout. Okay. Right, Con, and what's next?
Any birthdays? Down at your end, we have a birthday. And I know it's coming up soon on the 21st. It's Philip's birthday. Philip, my son's birthday on the 21st and that's I think it's the longest day of the year. It was the longest day of the year when he was born.
And I've got a birthday on the 9th.
Oh, lovely. Great stuff. But going back to that video of Streets of London, I remember one day with Dec, we were driving through London, and there was a tramp walking along, pulling a trolley with all his goods and chattels and everything in it. And Dec swung the car around, drove up to the chap. He took off his own shoes and he handed them to the guy. And the guy looked in amazement and said, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." And it's lovely to be able to do things like that, because there, but by the grace of God, any one of us could be in that situation.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that's...
Did I ever tell you about the time that I was going, when I lived in London, and I was going to top of Baker Street, driving along, stopped at the traffic lights, and there was a guy, and he had shoes, and he had all the front cut out of them, and they're all falling apart, the shoes he had on, and he was limping along and everything, and I couldn't, and I'd got incredible bright yellow shoes on that were stunning, cost a fortune, Carnaby Street probably.
I was with you.
Well, yeah, and I took the boots off, and I went over to the guy and I gave them to him, and I said, "What size are you?" He said, 10. I said, "Exactly them. They're 10. They'll fit you lovely. They'll lovely." And a couple of days later, I was driving past exactly the same place. I looked at him, and he had my boots on, and he had the whole front of them cut out. But anyway, listen, have we got any birthdays, Con?
Yeah, as I said, it was Philip's birthday on the 21st.
Really?
Yeah.
And I got mine on the 9th.
Stephen's on the 9th. Oh, shall we listen? Where's my assistant? Is my assistant ready? Assistant, she's just said that my assistant is just coming now, Stephen, with a special cake. She actually went over to Honduras.
Oh, that's a long way, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a particular flavoring. It's a banana coconut flavoring.
Oh, I love banana as well.
Yeah, and it's I knew that, Stephen. I knew that. And that's one of those candles has just gone out. I should just relit the candle. So now, here we are. And this is for Stephen, is it? And is it for Philip as well, Con?
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at this. This is especially for you, Stephen. And this is from, oh, isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Now, if you stop talking, you see the camera will go on me, Stephen. And there's your cake. Isn't that lovely? So listen, Con and I are going to sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Stephen and Philip. Happy birthday to you, Stephen and Philip. Happy birthday, dear Stephen and Philip. Happy
birthday to you and many more. Many more.
Thank you.
There we are. Now, Stephen, you know the deal, don't you?
I do, yeah. And I'm going to do it right.
Now you go 1, 2, 3, and blow. That's what you do. Okay. Are you ready?
I am. 1, 2, 3.
I was taking long. Oh, wow. It took a few minutes there for the.
No, that was quicker than normal. That was lovely because it has to go up to the satellite, all the way down, through all the wires in the house, and then come out the computer and then blow. And that's lovely. And happy birthday, Stephen. That's lovely. And to Philip. That's lovely.
Happy birthday, Philip. And what about Layla?
Oh, good Lord. It's Layla's birthday today. I've just been at Layla's birthday party. And my Layla is 14. Can you believe it? Wow. As they always say, she's 14 and she's good at it.
Oh, they know how to twist you, don't they?
Can you continue? I'll tell you, do you know what she got for her birthday, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? She got an Apple Watch.
Wow.
I would die for an Apple Watch. And she knows how to use it as well. I mean, they were taking photographs. It's got an automatic thing. You put your phone up and then just press the Apple Watch and it takes the photograph. Get on. Let's get on with the show, Con. And what have we got now? What have we got now?
This is the one where we went up the downs. Why did they say up the downs? Why don't they just say we went to the Downs and we filmed this, and it was very, very windy day, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results of this. And it's that lovely old song, "He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother." He's my brother.
The road is long, with many a winding turn that leads us to who knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong enough to carry him. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. For I know he will not encumber me. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. If I'm late at all, I'm laden with sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with the gladness of love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return. While we're on our way to there, why not share? And the Lord doesn't weigh me down at all. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. He's my brother. He's my
Wow, 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 wow.
Did
Look
you
at all that
like that,
applause.
Con? Let's see. Did they like it? Did they
did.
like?
Everybody's
Did
applauding
they
like
like it?
mad. Wow,
Did they
everybody's
like
going
it?
mad.
Let me see. Come now.
Even Philip and Ronnie.
Wait now. Wait now. Wait now. Keep it going. Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! Even Philip and Ronnie are applauding. Ah, ah, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Tell you what, enjoyed doing that. Enjoyed doing that.
It was lovely. I hope you're recording all this, Dak.
Oh, I am. Oh, I am. Don't worry about
Yeah,
that,
that's
Con.
good.
And the replay will be on tomorrow. The replay will be
Oh,
on
lovely.
tomorrow. I said, what do you think
Can
of
you
that?
let me record the rest of it?
John Leyland, what did you think of that? What did you think
Can't
of it?
think of any more superlatives, really.
You can't think. Shall I let them in on a little secret, John? I always, when I finish something, I send it to John just to get I don't know, John's perspective, because he's such a good photographer himself and he knows all this stuff inside out. And you didn't actually reply to that one, John.
Oh, I did.
No, it must be there today. But anyway, what did you think of it? And particularly, what did you think of me?
When I replied to the email, which you obviously haven't got yet, maybe it just took a long time for the wire to warm up between Blackpool and Eastbourne.
My computer works by pedal.
Right. I did comment on the fact that as a live number, that used to blow the audience away. But the thing I remember most about it is that you used to have a bright white light upstage center that used to shine out into the audience.
Yeah.
And that really made the number complete as a stage performance.
Yeah.
But the video was superb. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. So that was a trick. I don't know where. Do you know all our tricks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? And Con knows this. I'm a great one for nicking ideas. If I see an idea, I steal it immediately. I understand. And you're the same, John, are you? Yeah.
No, I remember where you got the trick because you told me at the time.
Go on. Go on.
You said you'd sneaked into it. The three of you at the time, I think Pete was with you, you'd sneaked into a Take That concert in Wembley and you'd seen them do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said, you looked at it, you thought, I've got to have that idea for our show. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
I've got a terribly annoying memory for all things Bachelors, I'm afraid. So.
Well, now I know the secret of that. And I've advised so many acts. As you know, I advise a lot of people in the music industry. I advise them so many times to take that idea, and I do know it's a stunning idea. And I'll tell you the other stunning idea, and I don't know where I nicked it from. I'll tell you what everybody now has nicked from us is if you see anything like Jules Holland live, especially the Jules Holland show live with all the bands around the studio. They all use what we call uplighters, 2 power cans, one on each side of the drums looking up. Or now they might put 2 power cans looking up at the singer. And it's just that uplight idea. And we've been using that, I think since we started using lighting, probably about 1985 or so.
Yeah, and we probably nicked it from somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, I'm unashamed. What's the great line I use? Why create mediocrity when you can steal genius?
Yeah. Well, I always remember when I was learning the business first. Well, even now, if ever there's a performer on stage, I always try and stand on the side of the stage and watch and see what any tricks they're using. And that's how I learned. Joseph Luck was my favourite for standing on the side of the stage. I used to watch him singing, and it was like as if the sun was shining out of his chest when he was singing. It was absolutely fantastic. And I used to adore watching him. And anybody else, it disappoints me now when we're on stage, or you never see anybody in the wings watching or copying or doing anything, trying to learn the business. That's what it's all about.
Okay. I was doing an educational thing last week. I was saying and I was addressing that very thing. So when all my pals were over in the pub drinking, or up in the dressing room with the girls and all the groupies and all that, I was on the side of the stage, and I usually had a notebook and taking a note of everything. But the one thing that I learned right through my life, and Con will know this, is the magic phrase, "I will never do that." So you see somebody on stage do something like the dreaded one, which I can't stand. And you see a lot of comics in pubs and clubs. You never see the big comics do it. Pubs and clubs, they walk on with a pint, yeah, usually a pint of water or a pint of Coke, and I call it, excuse the language, ladies, I never use bad language, you know, it's not rude word really, but I call it arses to the audience. And they bend down, arse to the audience, put the beer down, and then they start, and then right through the act, they're bending down. I mean, the way the greats have done that, and we've done it, and we nicked it from Sinatra, was a cup of tea on the table. And to finish a song, and then to turn around. He famously did that at the Albert Hall, Frank Sinatra, and he got headlines in the newspapers over it. They took a cup of tea like that, and he just drank it.
Yeah,
and I've seen Il Divo do it, and they had, and I nicked the idea, but Con didn't go for it. It was too. It took a bit of too much of organising to do it. But Il Divo, I've seen them when one guy was singing or talking, telling a story. One guy talking, the other four of them went to the back of the stage, and they had a silver tray with 4 glasses of champagne on it, and they just sat in a circle, just looking at the guy talking, drinking the champagne. How elegant is that? I mean, what a great trick! I'm giving all these tricks away. Go on, Con. Go on, Con. You can mute yourself now, Mr. Leyland. Just in case you blow off or anything like that. You wouldn't. But Con.
I would never do that.
No. I'll tell you what. Layla's birthday the other day. We had the usual thing. Everybody's got them now. A birthday weekend. We went to a lovely little old-fashioned tea shop, which is just reopened in our village, and we went in. And Zach was there, my grandson, who's 15 now and should know better. And we were all there, and we were just leaving, and somebody did do what I just said, John, and it was awful. And everybody looked at Zach. Zach, how could you?
We're coming up to our last song of the day now, and again, I'd like to thank Philip for all this filming he did with me.
Do I get to tell my story?
Yeah, go on.
So, we all went to Dublin. Dad, do you remember? We stayed at 140 to Connell Park.
That's right.
And Michael and Greg went out drinking and got absolutely leathered. You had Father Ned around for the evening. It was very civilized. It was just you and Mum, me and Father Ned, and it was all lovely, wasn't it? It was really nice. And then Greg and Michael just piled in, steaming drunk, making a right fuss of noise and everything. And there weren't enough chairs to sit down on, so Greg sat on top of Michael, and he popped one out while he was sat on top of Michael. And the two of them were having an argument about it. And then I got the blame and I got sent to bed. All in front of Father Ned. In front of the priest.
Did they say somebody popped off before Father Ned?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't know it was his turn.
But the Irish guilt just got absorbed into my into my system, and I went up to bed feeling genuinely guilty, and I'd done nothing.
Oh, that's terrible. But Philip, you did a lovely job on the filming of your dad, I must say, and the house. It's really gorgeous. And I've incorporated some of your. He gives me, ladies and gentlemen, when he's filming, he gives me a running commentary of what he wants me to do. And I'm now going to zoom up the camera up the top of that, and it would be nice if you just did this and did that, and I do it. I take orders. I've always said that to people. Success in life is just doing what you're told.
You turn up on time, you know your lines, and you say, certainly.
That's it, that's the one. So shall we get on with this? I'll tell you what, Philip, would you like to introduce this next song?
This was filmed in Elland, West Yorkshire. And was it also filmed down at yours as well?
Of course.
At Stanton Prior down in Eastbourne with the Eastbourne Massive. This is The Bachelors with Bless This House. Enjoy the video.
Bless this house, oh Lord, we pray. Make it safe by night and day. Bless these walls so firm and stout, keeping want and trouble out. Bless the roof and chimneys tall. Let thy peace lie over all. Bless this door that it may prove ever open to joy and love. Bless these windows shining bright, letting in God's heavenly light. Bless the hearth ablazing there, with smoke ascending like a prayer. Bless the people here within, keep them pure and free from sin. Bless us all that we may be fit, O Lord, to dwell with thee. Bless us all that we one day may dwell, O Lord, with
Very good. Very good.
Let's see, let's see, let's see. Look at that. And even Ronnie with a thumbs up. That's tremendous. That is incredible. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's lovely.
Thank you.
I was just saying to, who was saying it to Con yesterday when we were getting ready for this. I was saying that is probably, in my opinion, probably the most perfect recording we've ever made. And John's agreeing with me. It is I'm a musician at heart, really, and everything about it. We had the Vienna Symphony Orchestra strings. We had a choir of 32 voices, which were all done by Victoria, my daughter, and myself. 32 times, 8-part harmony, and it was all. I think it's probably the only thing of ours, Con, I would ever look at again, because I'm terrible. Once I finish something, that's it, it's gone.
Yeah, my house looks very old.
Yeah,
I'm saving up for a new one.
That's it. It was built in 1462, Con's house.
1480.
1480. I thought it was. You got 1462 on the.
No.
On the window, haven't you?
Yeah, that's Pat did that.
And you made a mistake. Oh, take 1462. The foundations were put in 1462, Con. Well, terrific history to Con's house, and that rose window which you saw, which Con has now realised is an apple and pear. Apples and pear.
Yeah.
Apple and pears window.
Yeah.
Probably the only one in the country. And that's we reckon it's the finest example of that sort of window in the country, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful.
And you've also got the largest Charles II coat of arms in the country, in the hall, the main hall. So there we are. Enough boasting, Mr. Tusky.
I'm looking at Margie there over in America. How's Margie doing?
Okay, she's doing very well.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You have to shout very loud from America.
How are you doing?
We're doing terrific. It's you we're asking for.
Yeah. I can't complain a bit. It's doing, I'm having a big party at the end of the month, a family reunion.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Well, it's just for my 5 brothers and their wives, and I'm looking forward to that. Cooking up a storm.
Yeah. How's the new president doing, in your opinion?
Don't get me started. No, what can I say? He kind of speaks for himself a bit. I mean.
Well, that's lovely. I think Mr. Biden is doing a wonderful job from overseas. He's a good speaker. I like good speakers. In fact, all American presidents have been wonderful speakers. And most of the British guys are wonderful speakers. I think Boris at the moment over here, Margie, is doing a sensational job. I think when the history is written of the COVID pandemic, I think he will get huge mentions, because I think he's shown the way forward to an awful lot of countries, which is marvellous, terrific. And I think it's his initiative now to have everyone in the world vaccinated by, 24? Yeah, I think 22. What an initiative that is. Yeah. Wonderful stuff. But there we are. Con, we're coming up to the end of the show. What? Now, I set you a task, Con. What are we going to do for the next one? Are we going to have a next one, ladies and gentlemen? Are we going to have one next month? Let me see what everybody says. I'll put you on gallery view. On gallery view. They're all saying, Joy is not too sure. No? Yeah. Oh, you did? Yeah. Are you sure? Because we seem to have dwindling numbers, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what, we'll do it if you all promise, please, to get going on Google, on everything there is, please, to get the audiences up, because this, for the quality of this show, I think, it's a little bit of a shame that we have so few people. But if you could all spread the word, and that's the way we will get more people. That is the only way we'll get more people.
Well, did you know we had 31,000 downloads last month?
There we are.
On Spotify.
Yeah.
So we're not doing too badly on Spotify.
No, that's good. Okay. So listen, Con, are we ready to say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah. Well, goodbye from me in Elland, and my daughter Carla sat beside me. Say goodbye.
And don't forget the tip jar. If you enjoyed this, there's the tip jar. go for it, go for it, go for it. It just helps everybody. But there we are. And it's goodbye from me. And please, if you've got any suggestions for any videos or anything, let us know, and we will do our best to get them done. So it's goodbye to everybody, Philip, John, everybody, Marjorie, Stephen, Lynn, everybody. See you all next time, and goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.